You're watching the Samsung Galaxy M32 Disassembly. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. And if you need any tools, there are links in the description. First, the SIM tray needs to be removed. Now we need to apply heat to the back plate using a hairdryer or a heat gun to loosen up the adhesive underneath, and then we're going to use a plastic pry tool to pry the back plate off. Here's a look at the plastic back plate. The glass camera lens cover can be replaced by applying some heat and gently prying it off. On the other side of the back plate, we can see a white graphene pad over here. There are 16 Phillips screws which need to be removed. Once the screws are removed, we need to disconnect the flex cable for the fingerprint reader. Next, we need to place our pry tool in between the back housing and the frame of the screen and run it along the edges to pop off the catches. Now the back housing can be lifted up and removed. The back housing itself is plastic as well. On this side, there are antenna flex cables over here and over here on the bottom. Turning it over, we can see the speaker assembly over here on the bottom. We can also see a rubber gasket lining over here. There's also another antenna flex cable over here on the top. There's more graphite film over here to help transfer heat, and the fingerprint reader and power button is located right over here. At this point, the battery cable needs to be disconnected. Now the flex cable which connects the main board to the subboard, as well as the screen cable over here, can be disconnected. There's a wire cable or coaxial cable over here in the corner which needs to be popped off. The other end can be disconnected as well on the subboard. Now the front-facing camera can be disconnected and removed. There is one Phillips screw located on the top left corner of the motherboard which is holding it down that needs to be removed. Now the motherboard can be lifted up and removed. The camera cables can be disconnected by just popping them off. The LED flash is located right over here, and the connectors have rubber gaskets around them. There's also a secondary microphone located over here on top. On the backside, the other two camera connectors are located over here, which can be disconnected by just popping them off. There's a proximity sensor over here on the top corner, and the SIM and memory card reader is located right over here. There's also a graphite pad over here on top of the shield. Once the graphite pad is peeled back, we can see a thermal pad which sits on top of the processor over here, and one which sits on top of the chip over here in the corner. There's one Phillips screw located over here holding down the subboard. Once that's removed, we can remove the subboard. The charger port is located right over here, the primary microphone is located over here, and the headphone jack is over here. And here's a look at the other side. If you needed to replace the screen, you would have to remove the back plate, as well as the screws and the back housing. At that point, you have access to disconnecting the flex cable over here, which connects to the screen cable. And then you'd heat up the front of the phone where the screen is to loosen up the adhesive underneath. You'd pry your old screen off, apply new adhesive, reapply your new screen, making sure you run your cable back through the opening over here in the mid-frame, and then you'd reassemble your phone. When it comes to removing the battery, there are no pull tabs to help you pry it off, so you're either going to have to apply heat to the front side of the phone to loosen up the adhesive underneath the battery, or you're going to need to use some isopropyl alcohol to apply some around the edges of the battery and let it sit there for about a minute so it eats away at the adhesive underneath, making it easier to pry that battery off. Here's a better look at the battery. The vibrator motor is located right over here, and the flex cable for the volume keys is over here, and it's held down with some adhesive. The earpiece speaker is over here on top, and that's also held down with some adhesive. So if you need to replace that, just apply some heat and gently pry it off. And there's also a liquid damage indicator, which is this white sticker over here underneath the SIM tray. When it comes to repairability, I give this phone an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to reassemble the phone. Once all the screws are back in place, apply new adhesive and reapply your backplate. Flip over your phone, power it on, and you're done. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.